refined pure silver using electrochemical refining. You can get 49 plus silver. The impurities are less, and this you will see as you go along in this presentation. The important thing is, in case of chemical refining, it is difficult to avoid the deleterious elements. You have to be really very expert in refining or hold the refining back at a certain point to get pure silver out, and all the elements can be precipitated at the last moment. Simultaneously, every refinery should have a good testing facility, because if you say silver, there are lots of standards which are available. So silver normally is tested by potentiometer or by the spark spectrometer. Even XRF can test silver. So these are the various standards which are there in the country. So as we embark, as the refiner embark, one of them, if you are, and as the, for the regulation says that you need to also have the NABL certificate, and NABL, you will have to go through this journey where either you get your validation for silver through either the ISO 15096 method, or even by Spark by your own method. So these things help you to really get the right quality of silver. Now what happens? So I have already indicated this is the methods used, the machines used, but what is currently, where is the purity of silver going in the current market? So in the definition in the ISO standard, the definition, or in definition in the Indian standard, is the silver is a metallic element which is free from any other element. It doesn't have any other element, and they specifically specified even an alloy of silver should be free from cadmium and lead. So this is what you see is, what does ASTM say? If you are having 39 silver or if you have 49 silver, as per the ASTM says that you should have least amount of lead, which is 10 ppm, and you can have least amount of lead which is 10 ppm. In 39 you can go up to 250 pm. What we do, and this is what is our analysis which comes from electrolytic refining, you can see the copper percentage in, and we do almost 49 silver for our minted coins and this, and you can see the gold is less than 2 ppm, copper we keep it up to 30 ppm, 20 to 30 ppm maximum. This is an important slide where I would say is, if you see what MMTC PAMP silver is coming out, which is 49 plus, which is copper 10 ppm, lead 1 ppm, and zinc 1 ppm. Equivalent, we have tested some of the bullion bars which are available in market, and you can see the difference. Now there the copper is going high. The more the high the copper, you will have problems while you are manufacturing jewelry in certain form, but that is not very harmful for a jewelry. But the important thing is the lead which goes high, or the tin 9 ppm can cause lot of defects in your manufacturing of jewelry as you go along. So that's the important thing where you need to control. And this is something which I was discussing yesterday also, and we had some people from Indian government of Mint, and we are also facing the similar challenge. There is a lot of jewelry in the country, silver jewelry in the country, which is donated to the god, and you can see the results here. I'll spend 1 minute on the slide. You can see silver varies from 51% to 96% in the jewelry which is sold as either 925 silver or which is sold as 100%. And the most important thing is the people who are buying it, they're buying and they're paying fully for the silver cost. And what we found when we got almost, I would say we got 5 tons of jewelry from one of the temples. I won't name the temple, but the results were not as we could even process it. We couldn't even, we had to return it back, because the reason was the big pieces, like what you say is khadao, or the big things which you donate, or the stand where the god sits, which many people donate, have good purity. I would say was up to 99.25, with cadmium maybe 1% or 0.5%. But all the chhatris, I don't know if you have seen the chhatri, which is a very small thing which people donate to the gods. The cadmium percentage was 45%, which is impossible for any company or any refiner to process it properly, because the amount of fumes which will generate, and cadmium, as you'll see in the next slides, is carcinogenic, so it's very difficult for. So here and I was discussing with the temple trust people, and I told them, why don't you set up your own centers rather than having this unscrupulous elements selling jewelry and deceiving the customers or the devotees. The temples can set up their own jewelry setup where you can avoid this sort of a thing which is there in the country. And this is, well, I don't know how much money one may earn out of this, but this is not on a very good line. So this is what happens to the silver which is being manufactured in the country, and we need to really be mindful of how we can avoid this. Usage of silver yesterday, and this is important slide because, and when I started preparing it, I was not aware of it, and when I saw it, almost 31,000 tons of silver is mined per year. And I was seeing yesterday's data of Metal Focus, it's the similar number for 23 also. And the demand is 38,000 tons in the world. And last year's data was 37,000 tons. So it's huge amount of silver which comes from the ores, and we need to really set up the right procedures, right environment to refine it. And India per se, and we are fortunate we have Hindustan Zinc, which is the third largest, almost 700 tons and 694, and I think last year it was much more. Recycling also increased by another 100 tons in last year. Unfortunately, this 8,000 number of this thing fell down last year to almost by, I think, 2,000 tons. We were at 5,000, where the major fall was more on the jewelry and the physical investment side. But all this, what I'm saying is, all this 8,000 tons have to be refined, and that's the important thing. The other important thing, and which we all are concerned about, is silver is one component, and I'm just highlighting here where all the silver is being used. Many of you may be knowing, many of you may not be. So in case of jewelry, silver is an important component where they are used in master alloy, which is used to convert jewelry into either 18 karat, 14 karat or 22 karat or various colors. And silver plays a very important role in all this thing. Like if you see the list of master alloys, and one component which is silver is required in the whole this thing. And in case of jewelry manufacturing or in case of any other products which is on the stamping side, silver powders are there, silver grains, silver anodes and silver strips. And if you see silver powder is used everywhere. You can say pharma, paint, ink, solar, electronics, electrical contacts, dental, even 3D. Now 3D simulations which are being done, silver is being used. And this is a long list, and I don't know whether you are aware of it, and when we compiled it, there are 9 unfamiliar usage of silver. Electronics, you can go through that. Anything you use, laptops, mobiles, everything has silver. Cars, whether it is opening windows or adjusting seat, there is silver in it. Solar panels, everybody is aware of. Medicines, it is having a very antibacterial properties. It is used in water purifiers. It's also used, silver nitrate, and is used for testing of wastewater by the pollution board also. It's photography, and recently you have seen the huge rainfall in Dubai, and silver has been used for cloud seeding also. Jewelry, everybody is aware, and investment, everybody. So you can see what's the importance of silver for us in our day-to-day life. And yesterday I was talking to the head of Silver Institute, Paul Baker, and he says, you can understand the importance of silver if I switch off all these lights. These lights will not be on if silver is not there. Every switch is having silver. So that's the importance of silver, and we need to really be mindful as to how we refine it, which I already said it, and how we make it pure. further. Okay. So, so this is what I'm saying, the deleterious elements which I showed it in the chart, but these are few of the deleterious elements where the most important thing is what you see is the cadmium and lead. Cadmium, lead and nickel are the important elements which we need to start avoiding in silver. Other things mostly are concerned with gold, but it's there, but we need to avoid it. If you see, this is the jewelry which we are making. Now I'm just adding this slide here because once you make the gold, which is 995, you are adding almost 5000 ppm of silver. And when you are adding 5000 ppm of silver, you see when we are doing it by electrolytic refining, the impurities are not there, the deleterious elements are not there. But you see the other side, all the red things will have your effect on your jewelry manufacturing, will reach to huge rejections in your jewelry manufacturing. People do rework, get their jewelry corrected, but end of the day they lose money. They don't realize buying good gold or buying good silver would be much more advantageous to them as they go along. So these are some of the defects you can see with these deleterious elements which are there. Even in the casting technology, I have highlighted with red, gold should be free from iron and iridium, or gold or any alloy should be free from lead, selenium or tellurium, and excess of zinc also results into oxides which are there. Same thing in handmade jewelry which is there, silicon, lead, tellurium will affect this thing. So this is what happens when you really, if you can really get good silver with less of impurities. And how does it affect the environment? It's very clear. Cadmium was widely used. Government has now banned it. Now we are not using cadmium. Earlier you must have heard of gold jewelry calling as KDM jewelry, which was there. It has reduced, but still it is very prevalent. And I'll just like to share, I was in one of the meetings with the government and they had a query. There is a lot of jewelry, the artificial jewelry which you have been seeing is only cadmium and zinc. And I was surprised to know that. Cadmium, zinc plated with 15 microns of copper, silver, and anything to avoid any effect on the people who wear it. But the people who manufacture it, you can understand what the workers would be going through. So we need to really be mindful of avoiding cadmium in our jewelry, or nickel, because nickel can also have the allergic effect. So these are the cadmium, lead, selenium, how you can avoid it. And also it is harmful for the environment also, because once it goes into the soil, it can harm the marine life, it can harm the plants. And so we need to be really, and we all are refiners, we need to be mindful of how we procure the silver, refine it, and then give it to the society. Thank you. Yeah.
Questions?
Yeah. So if you ask for the bars, the BIS good delivery standard has been made exactly in the lines of the LBMA standards. The only difference what is this is currently the LBMA follows for the large bars, that is 12.5 kg gold and 30 kg silver bars, while our good delivery standards also takes care for 1 kg gold and 15 kg bars. But the whole the setup is all the what you can say, the dimensions, the purity and everything is as per the LBMA standards. The only difference right now we have is we don't have a body to really validate that. LBMA, as we know, LBMA does a 3-year monitoring process of testing. Currently the only body we have here to validate is the NABL for our testings, but the bars are almost, the standard is almost the same.
So we have 2 more.
Yeah, considering this. Yes, definitely as we go along, And you would see for the industrial use, and yesterday I was with National Chemical Laboratory people, and they have developed now commercially, and they're looking for partners, developed nano silver. Because nano silver are the ones which can really, nano silver powders can be used in bacteria, can be used in ink. So definitely as we go along, bars is the option for easy selling, I would say. But once you go for manufacturing of industrial products, granules and powders, even solar, you have to have the right right micron size of powders which is there. So definitely the same thing what I told, the impurities which are there will not get, you can't get the right property. Silver as such, I think I think Paul said, silver is the best conductor, and every comparison is with the silver only. So if there are impurities, then it will definitely affect the working of the whatever part. Now we are going to nano silver is 1 to 100 nanometer size. It's so small, and if you have an impurity of lead on this, it will definitely not give that right kind of property which is there. I think any.
Yes. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a round of applause for Mr. Goyal. I would like to invite on stage Kishore Choksi sir to present a memento to Mr. Goyal for his very informed talk. So while Mr. Choksi presents a memento to Mr. Goyal, let me tell you, I'm sure a lot of you found this talk very, very interesting. You had your questions as well. So thank you sir, thank you so much.